仲間を守り、そのためだけに今俺は戦っているんだ。
Oh, welcome back my fellow weebs and otakus to Anime Trends, where we give you the latest updates on anime and provide you with interesting lists to look at. Now, in today's list, we're going to look at the characters in anime that would not only burn you to ashes, but would also rekindle your fiery love for anime. Because today, we're taking a look at the strongest fire element users in anime, from normal fire users all the way to top dog users of the fire element. So, without any further delay, let's move on to the list. Number 10. Madara Uchiha from Naruto Shippuden. Madara Uchiha is from our famous ninja anime, Naruto. That's right, we are assuming that you don't know Naruto. Anyways, Madara is the founder of the Uchiha, a former Hokage, and an exceptional master of many arts, but one cannot deny his profound power in using fire jutsu, especially his ultimate technique, the fire style, Majestic Destroyer. After all, this guy has more lung capacity than you'll ever have in your life. Madara has also shown his capabilities when it comes to all his abilities, because not only can he manipulate space and shadows, bend realities, and even cast upon a freaking meteor on his enemies, he can also single-handedly take on an entire army of ninjas. Like, what, man? Plus, his fire jutsu can burn people's skins at a second-degree burn level, which would be around 120 degrees Celsius, which would also make his fire techniques the ultimate pain in the ass. Now with that, Madara Uchiha gets our 10th spot on the list.
Number 9.
Roy Mustang from FULLMETAL Alchemist Brotherhood. Roy Mustang is your typical annoying office worker, womanizer, and narcissistic leader, but we can't deny that we all love him nonetheless. Roy Mustang is one of the most powerful characters in one of the most phenomenal anime from the ashes, FULLMETAL Alchemist Brotherhood. Now, if there is a guy who can literally flick his way to becoming a military general, then say no more. Roy Mustang, or best known as Fireman, is a fire element alchemist who has a unique way of incorporating his techniques in the battlefield, and that's through his special gloves that were made to act as a flint and stone every time he flicks, thus being able to manipulate that small gleam of fire to an insane amount of firepower. Also, Roy Mustang can opera the hell out of his enemies, such as Poor Envy, but also signifying that Roy Mustang's flames can produce around 130 Celsius of heat. Well, at least we got to see one of the best rage moments in anime, and with that, Roy Mustang earns the 9th spot on the list.
Number 8.
Shinra Kusakabe. This list would be left out if we wouldn't mention at least one shonen protagonist, which is required in today's anime trends. Anyways, Shinra Kusakabe, also known as the Devil, is the protagonist of our fiery anime, Fire Force. Plus, he's a cool protagonist with a non-cringy story and awesome scenes with comedy that isn't half-baked, as well as amazing fan service. Though Fire Force is filled with fire users, Shinra Kusakabe easily outruns them all, because not only does he possess the most powerful type of flame element, a Dola Burst, which is basically nuclear energy meets gas or something. I don't know, I'm not a scientist. He also has an insane and unique fighting styles and abilities, such as boosting around a hooligan rocket, bursting through enemies with literal fire kicks, and even traveling at the speed of light. And since his Adola Burst is equal to nuclear energy, which burns at 300 degrees Celsius, that is above the temperature a human body can handle. And with that, Shinra Kusakabe smiles at his 8th spot on the list. Number 7. PORTGAS the Ace from One Piece. Ace, aside from getting a beating from both a Discord and mid-pirate to an over-justified crapload of an admiral, Ace is an extensively powerful character in the One Piece franchise. He is in possession of one of the most powerful devil fruits, which is the Flame Devil Fruit. The devil fruit allows him to manipulate the laws and physics of fire, then apply it to himself and his enemies. PORTGAS the Ace is an exceptional user of the devil fruit, and more importantly, an insane fire user. He can create large firestorms out of nothing, shoot flame projectiles like bullets, and even navigate around by transforming himself into fire. This guy is the fire boy of sorts, whose flames can reach up to 110 degrees Celsius. So you can already tell that this guy is quite hot, both in flames and in fire. And he surely does not have some Rule 34 lying around, or some yaoi crap like... I forget what I just said. Let's just give him the 7th spot on the list. Number 6. MEREOLEONA, Vermillion from Black Clover. Lady Sisgoian is probably one of those waifu tomboys that everyone is talking about, and aside from being the thick-ass underrated waifu, now Black Clover is home to a lot of powerful characters with jaw-dropping powers. However, no one can surpass the power of MEREOLEONA Vermillion. MEREOLEONA Vermillion, a royal knight and the captain of the Crimson Lion Kings, is an exquisite mage that excels in her fire element magic and quite a sadistic fighter at that. She is also known as the Undefeated Lion, which summarizes her entire role and character in the anime. And you know, it's strong when it only punches everything. Now from single-handedly fighting 5 elves, to even being feared by Yami, who is one of the most powerful characters in the anime. Though we don't get to see much of her, her flames undoubtedly produce around 600 degrees Celsius of heat. So if you want that illicit fire palm on your head, then you might as well agree to her being on the 6th spot.
Number 5.
Alibaba Saluja from Magi, Labyrinth of Magic. Definitely not your guy from Alibaba.com. Instead, he's from the Magi anime, which sports some good fight scenes, and it's like Dragon Ball with more gods. The protagonist of the series, Alibaba Saluja, is a user of a fire-based metal vessel magic, which allows him to turn into a mythological spirit induced with the voluptuous power of fire. Not only that, Alibaba Saluja is also an insanely likable character, and he has some sort of sibling complex. He also has a comparable power to that of a god, since he has the blessings of a literal fire god and a godlike sword named Amon. Now, aside from being able to absorb any sort of magic using his fire-induced sword, he also has the ancient Magi arts of fire, which allows him to shoot powerful flame projectiles, slash away at his opponents with melting power, and an unbeatable sword style that suits his bidding well, which basically earns him the 5th spot on the list. Number 4. Endeavor from My Hero Academia. From worst father to best hero, this guy truly lived up to his heroic name, which is Endeavor, and it literally means trying hard to achieve something. But don't underestimate this man from Boku no Hero Academia, because aside from his outdated protagonist mindset, nor his bad parenting techniques, his quirk, Hellflame, can truly burn both his enemies and his family relationships. Also, Endeavor is one of the most powerful characters in the anime due to his specific abilities, such as flight by propelling himself upwards with his flames, fire boost that allows him to move at top speed within seconds, plus topping it off with insane abilities such as his flash fire fist, jet fire, hell spider, and prominence burn. While these abilities are devastating and burns at a rate of more than 1000 degrees Celsius, enough to melt the hardest of materials and destroy everything it hits. No wonder his son, Todoroki, hated the flames. Boy cannot handle the drip his father got. So, anyways, Endeavor easily burns the 4th spot on the list. Number 3. ESCANOR from 7 Deadly Sins. Next is this guy. Wait, this guy? You may already be thinking to yourself,
Why is such a thin and weak-looking mustache man doing here?
well, don't be fooled, because this guy is shown as the guy who can take your non-existent girlfriends away with just a flick of his mustache and a flex of his overbearing muscles. So, ESCANOR, a human bearer of sin of pride, has the blessings and powers of the sun. Not only is he one of the strongest in the anime, and the strongest when the sun is at its highest, he also has one of the best abilities when it comes to obliterating stuff. I mean, come on. He's using the sun's power to fuel his abilities. Also, ESCANOR is feared by all sins, commandments, and even the strongest of all races in 7 Deadly Sins due to his excessive power. Though he lacks regenerative powers, ESCANOR can easily burn out the life of everyone around him, and even his attacks won't be stopped by the full counter, abilities used by Asterosa and Meliodas. I mean, come on. The sun burns at 15 million degrees Celsius. Damn.
7 Deadly Sins really went out on this guy.
Except on season 3, of course. But anyways, let's just give him the 3rd spot on the list. Number 2! Yamamoto from Bleach. Yamamoto might look like an old man, but boy oh boy, I'm telling you this. He is the type of teacher that makes everyone go silent the moment he enters the classroom. Plus, he's the strongest and oldest Shinigami in the anime. Yamamoto also sports a supreme muscular physique, despite being an old man. A rod stick that turns into one of the most powerful katanas, and his iconic white beard that just spouts beauty everywhere. Now, Yamamoto is so strong that he can take on all of the strongest characters in the anime series, cook his own supplementary meals, take care of his nurse, and be the one to remind everyone of his dementia. And surprise, surprise, the guy's superpower is to summon the flames of hell.
which can approximately burn at 5,000 degrees Celsius.
And not only that, he can also create multiple firestorms, imbue his katana with melting fire, and create nuclear explosions whilst looking badass doing it. So, this 1,000-year-old Reaper captain easily gets the second spot on the list. But wait!
Before we go on to the number 1 list,
Let us mention some honorable mentions to satiate their complaints later. Ifrit, from That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Diablo, from How to Summon a Demon Lord. Rin Okumura, from Blue Exorcist. Shana, from Shakugan no Shana. Phaeton, from Hunter x Hunter. Lastly, Shin Wolford, from Wise Man's Grandchild. Now, let's move on to the final reveal. Number 1. Natsu Dragneel from Fairy Tail. Some of us love Fairy Tail not only because of dragons and waifus, but it has one of the best and strongest protagonists that we came to know and love. That is Natsu Dragneel, the muscle-headed, densely perverted, and plot power elevated character. Natsu Dragneel is one of the strongest characters in the series because of his half-dragon origin and dragon-slaying abilities. Not only does he possess the ultimate fire dragon blood, he also has the Black Dragon, Lightning Dragon, and Dragon God's power. Fairy Tail also has its fair share of overpowered characters that was overpowered by Natsu, which is nothing new for fans, since the stronger Natsu enemies is, the stronger he will be. Now, Natsu's abilities are mainly fire. He can engulf all of his attacks with fire, absorb attacks like it's nothing, regenerate using fire, cover his whole body with defensive fire, breathe out fire, and you get the point. Natsu also possesses ancient fire dragon arts, ranging from Exploding Blade, Flame of Darkness, Crimson Lotus Exploding Lightning Blade, up to the Fire Dragon King mode. All these abilities had set him up as the most powerful character in the anime series for obvious reasons, not because he's a protagonist or anything. By now, you may already know that out of all the fire users in this list, no one comes near to the power Natsu holds. So with that, he earns the number 1 spot on the list. Now, that is the top 10 most powerful fire magic users in anime. So, what are your thoughts on our list? We would happily receive them in the comment section below. And if you like this content, please like and subscribe to the channel, since it helps us continue making these lists. And if you want to see more, then click the notification bell to not miss out on these entries.
now, thanks for watching the video and have a beautiful day.